Hello, everybody. This is Rita Coyote Heart. Today is January 27th, and right now it's 2:10 my time, which is on the East Coast. Isn't that really cool how this light, it's like, oh, I didn't plan it. Let's see. Usually I have other things going on, but I kind of like the rays. Let's keep the rays and look, it's kind of funny. It's like really cool. I'm just going to talk a little bit and address. I've been working on some art. I'm going to show you that. It takes me a long time to do it by hand. And I think it's because I'm still divided in some of my own life about what I got to get clear on. And just listening too much. Like I sometimes have something in the background I'm listening to, trying to do art, come back to see if that thing will be important to me. But here's what I know is happening on my journey. I do trust the plan. Where we go, one we go all. I do think everything's working out for good. I do think there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we are not seeing as people on the planet would need to see, because it's not happening on mainstream media completely. I want to get out of the way because I'm still someone that will follow. In fact, I just saw a Spiritually Live, and I was Spiritually Raw live, and I wasn't going to, but they had Sean Morgan on it, who he has written like a QAnon or Q book, but he's someone that just follows the facts, ma'am, much like a Dan Bongino reporter. So he takes a lot into consideration before he does his blogs and his reporting, and I like him. He's not into what some people, more the exciting, kind of can't prove it. But even if he could, he just doesn't go there. He stays with observing. He stays with following the dots back, where they're going forward, who says what, who his vetted information is. And that, for some people, might help if they follow him or look him up. Excuse me. You can find him through spirituallyraw.live. A lot of these people are on beachshoot.com. I did listen to Robert Young, Dr. Robert Young. There's all kinds of credentials, and some people say, oh, he got arrested, a while back because his license ran out or something. But my feeling is, if you're making a huge contribution to the world and telling the truth, often you're targeted, especially as a doctor, because you're not making pharma, you're not making the old paradigm, the old systems any money. And he's all about health and balancing the body and curing yourself naturally. And a lot of those people in our past history magically got dead. Even now, my God, I can't even keep up. I just went away for a second. I'm right there. Who's the baseball? I'm right here. Ball player that I don't remember names all the time. I'm going to come back in a second. Hang on with me. So is this, that's not Harry O'Neill. Oh, you guys know. I know you guys know. It's just the recent guy. I don't want to be silly and say Hank Aaron. Yeah, Hank Aaron. Okay, so look at that. That's what I thought his name was. So Hank Aaron, I'm not a baseball person. He was well before he got the vaccine. Said he would get the vaccine and be one of the first to show people. I have a nursing friend who has had very high credentials at one time. My personal preference and my personal suggestion is don't take the vaccine. Number one, if you're healthy, don't take the vaccine anyway. Number two, if someone adamant because you always follow your doctor's orders, I would investigate it more. Just do yourself that favor, but you probably won't, but don't. I want to get it. And don't go by the mainstream media news. They're not telling you the truth. Not telling you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. They're not. So I thought I would bring up some books today that A, I haven't read, or B, I have. So this is Atlantis, Remembering Atlantis. And what I like about this book is I think a part of it is actually channeled, and I'm getting goosebumps, even though I get cold in my room and without my hat and stuff, I'm getting the goosebumps as I'm holding it. And I've never held it as much as I've been holding it today. So it feels really good and really right. There's a history of Atlantis. Second cycle of Atlantis is a third cycle. It talks about really our history. Oh my gosh, it looks like they're giving me flat earth here in this book. Who wrote it? It's Doctors Daniel and Barbara Condron, Condron, husband-wife team. It looks like, when was this published? This was published, He's written other books. They both written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've written about 10 books between them both. And then they wrote their own separate books. They wrote like 11, 12 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 books between them, but together they wrote The Bible Interpreted in Dream Symbols and The Uncommon Knowledge. This sounds really cool. And this was published in 2002, January 2002, right? And yet it feels so good. It was really good. I just wanted to pick out a portion in reading something because it sounded really good. I can't remember the page that I was on. Let's see. It was a really good part that I was reading earlier. Well, okay. I don't want to spend too much time just trying to look for that spot. I wish I had put something in this place, but this is what I wanted to read. This is one part that I saw I wanted to read to you. Energy is real. We don't see air, but it's real. When air moves because of energy, we call this air energy wind. In the same way, there are higher dimensions of consciousness that are not perceived by the 5 senses. All matter is frozen energy. Matter is energy that has been slowed in vibration to such a rate that is perceivable by the 5 senses. Now, here's one thing. A long time ago, I think it was like 2013, and I was in a very funky place. It's a whole other story. But I was in a library while I lived at this place. I was in a library now because I didn't have a computer. And I looked up Einstein, who I always liked, although now, of course, my hero is becoming Tesla. But so Einstein, and I pretty much know this quote, Einstein is quoted as, "Concerning matter, we were wrong. There is energy so lowered as to be perceived. There is no matter." Hello, Miss Stacy Mask. There is no matter. So to me, like reading this, I'm getting those goosebumps. It's not just being cold. There's certain, when you hear or read something right, your body just goes, a lot of us that can sense it, it feels right. So ta-da. I want to see what the second line says in this one. Thank you for you. But this was written in 2002, so remember this. Let's see. One example of this is this is talking about the day. I should probably read this. I'll read just 2 more and we'll let it go. I've got to move on to 2 other books I want to tell you about. Day length has changed during the Earth's history. Year length has also changed. This is why it's so difficult to give accurate measurement of the very ancient past. This is also part of the reason that estimates the age of the pyramids. Every ancient civilizations, dinosaurs, and ancient time periods are usually incorrect. Now we know, right? A lot of intuitives, we're coming to know that to be true. We're coming to know that to be true. We're coming to know that our history has been dominated by forces that infiltrated 3,000 to 6,000 years more ago. We're always finding something, even it leaks through just a little bit, that is not accurate. And just recently, within this past year, the Smithsonian Institution was trying to get rid of human bones that were very, very, very tall, that were discovered but hidden away. They were just trying to get rid of bones. That leaked out. Bones of what? Bones of people that were super tall? Who were they? One example of this age is the age of the Sphinx. I always loved the Sphinx. I thought I was supposed to be at the foot of the Sphinx and discover some hidden doors. That was a long time ago when I was first, I think it was like getting one of my first channel readings for someone that I really trusted. And I wanted to be like her because she knew a lot about Egypt and she was just a cool lady, and ended up living in her town. Oh, you were so lovely. I appreciate you. Hang on for a little bit if you can. So recently has been ascertained that the weathering of the sides of the Sphinx is due to water erosion, not wind erosion as long believed. The last time there was water erosion in Egypt was over 10,000 years ago, according to modern measurements of time, when Egypt was not a desert. This is like a really cool book. So if you can find your way to it, I just love that it's giving me chills. Oh, wow. I just saw another diagram. It was so strange. Oh, wow. Let's see. Oh, you'll like this, Stacy, or anybody else listening but not showing up. Is a pyramid. I get it. It says, light I am. And then there's Christ, cosmic consciousness, super consciousness, casual consciousness, mental level, and it goes all the way down to the physical level of conscious. And that's really cool. So I would highly recommend this book. I have some books with me that just always resonate and I never want to get rid of them, even though I didn't read them. And my goal in myself is to take my books and start reading, even if it's only like for half an hour a day. So that's what I want to do. Oh, let me get rid of this. Popped up like that. Whoops, sorry. Prime Minister keeps popping up. There's another reason why I want to go. And I too was having an intuition. Is this jumping this in? So I currently am this person that signed up for hempworks.com, and many people who have been trying CBD oil through this company, they're saying they're raving about it, they're saying it's great. And I don't want to diss their success. It is a multi-level company. But for me, whenever people are really excited, sometimes I have a tendency to want to be like them too. And I'll jump on because I want to be part of that super, super great group. But here's what you've given me this epiphany. I'm not supposed to just jump into a group to be there and be successful like them. I'm supposed to lead a group in fellowship. I'm supposed to be the leader of groups. And if groups resonate with me, okay, be a part of whatever part I can be to support them. But if that doesn't remember, I can't be. And yes, thank you. I can't, I was going to stay with it, Stacy. I was going to stay with it because the uplines was saying so many testimonials. You know, you can just take from the testimonials, which is true. But I'm not. I'm sending the product back today. I got to go to the post office, and they actually reimbursed me my money already. And so there's the trick, because if you don't send the product back in enough time, they'll take the money back, and I don't need the product. And you know, it's like this whole cycle. So I'm going to mention, and I probably it's not fair, and I don't mean to be not. This is how I think of multi-level marketing, and someone brought this up too, but multi-level marketing is really, really, really good if you're passionate about it. If you become passionate about something and you want to have to be your business that you want to fly with, then I think it's really good. And I know that I'm not as passionate about it. What I'm passionate about is I want to be more and get into crystals, tarot cards, angel blessing cards. I want to be able to show you what I'm learning and give that to you and let more intuition come through and be a guide for you, just a guide, just a mirror. And through us in your own, help you figure out what you want, just as I'm doing. So I'm not supposed to be in the herd, to be in the herd and follow. And I think that's been a little bit in the past couple of weeks, something I've been trying to fight and get out of, in the sense, the word fight is not accurate, because I've done a lot of research. I've done some chunk of research. I've gone and looked at the research, and in everything to a point of science and spirit and religion and galactic and current events and following people. And I'm just over the head, you know, to the point where I may not remember all the names and the dates and the people and who's on what side. But intuitively, I always knew something was super off, and it just got whapped in my face with lockdowns and stuff, and not being able to work, and me not being able to work because I actually have a paper that says I'm not supposed to wear masks to interfere with my health. But the truth is, it's all a mind control game based on probably the bottom line. A part of the bottom line is our structure of banking system is coming down, and the powers that seem to be ruling or kept us stupid, and we wanted to be stupid, whatever, we wanted to be quiet, we wanted to not know as much because someone else will take care of us, excuse me. They're fighting, but they're really down, and I think the good people are in control, and we're just seeing a movie play out, and it really is about getting your popcorn. Hello. Thank you. So, anyway, I love some of these people I follow, but I really gotta go back to my art, and I'm gonna show you what I'm working on, and I gotta pump some out because someone is interested to have them in her shop, and I need to contact other shops. But so I'm expecting a really cool tarot deck by Magenta. Well, it's not Magenta. She didn't make it up, Magenta Pixie, but she held up these cards, and I knew I wanted them for sure. And then there's another woman. It's a $200 bundle to study her angel card blessing thing, and I'm gonna see and wait on that for a moment. But I know that the tarot cards and the cards you have take on your energy as you use them. And so even though you read about what they represent, they also take on your interpretation. And my knowing about these things is when I see the card and it has come with the definition, to also see, oh, thanks, Stace. Yes, of course. And I'll keep you posted. And there's another reason why I went on today, right now, to say all this stuff, and I'll get to that too. The reason anytime I might give an intuitive suggestion, whatever, is not to be, I hope to be out of my ego and just say, this is what I'm feeling right now, because this is what I also feel about us. We are so powerful, we can shift. Just because a reader is reading you now, if they're really especially intuitive and especially kind, they're going to say, based on what you're asking me now and what you're feeling now, this is what I'm getting. And they can also say, I can also feel if you stay on this timeline, that will happen. Or if you stay on this path, that will happen. But you have a right to break it and switch it. And there may be a slight hiccup, but this also will happen, because one of my taglines is, you are powered by the stars. You are powered by the stars, right? The earth has 12% crystal and it's crust. The earth, our brains, pineal gland, I always go back here. The pineal gland has crystal in it, which is why the blood is powerful when they want to torture children, and I stutter sometimes. They torture children, and they want to or anybody, to get that adrenochrome, because it has been scientific studies on blood transfusions of young to old. And there's another reason that too that came out with adrenochrome that really important that I'm forgetting. But anyway, whole other subject. So ta-da, here's this book that I have read. I've read it twice and it's been a while, but any of her series, A Call to Power, The Grandmothers Speak, Sharon McErlane, McErlane. So she was a psychologist, and I forget her specialty, but she was a psychologist. She went walking her dog one day, and then she got poof, like right in the middle of walking, this like grandmother, I thought it was one grandmother's or all like 13 grandmothers showed up, these indigenous women and said, like, we want to bring you a message and want to bring you a message to help people. And she ended up writing at least 3 books. There might be more. The series is worth reading. It's really cool. It is about the matrix, the web of life. It has some tools in there. I don't know if this book has the tools in it, some prayers and some tools, but it really called to me at the time. And because I feel like I'm just feeling called to do my art and be an intuitive reader, to share that with everyone and not hold it away anymore, and not, I don't say I play small all the time or play safe even all the time, but I'm not really surrounded by, well, I'm only with my dad right now, but he thinks intuition is not right or gone. If I said God told me, or if I said blah, blah, they'd laugh at me. So, I don't care anymore about that. I would like either sometime, if I have this house and able to take off, I would do the whole things differently with this land and the house. If I don't, then it will be I and my cats in the car and whatever stuff I can take, and driving, and probably going to Florida because it's warmer and I don't have to shovel. And I don't want to. I'm in Massachusetts. I'm not married to Massachusetts. Is it beautiful? And beautiful in places, it certainly is. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Stacy. I know it can be really like. And I came back here, and I think I came back to this homestead to heal. And there's a story around that someday I'll share the timeline things that I remember about it. But I recommend this book, A Call to Power. It's a really nice gift. I'm trying to think if this is the first one. Finding Balance in a Chaotic. Oh, she was one of the first people to put this out there. Finding Balance in a Chaotic World. He was. I can't remember if this is the first one. And I'm just trying to see if this is the one with the. There is a meditation on the Rose of the Heart. I know there was something where someone initiated me and they put a kerchief on me and they sang like the song or the words that were in here to sing. It's a really nice book. It's a really, really nice book. I think at some point I'll take that out and do one of the meditations or whatever. I'll just read. Let's see if I can find something. they put quotes at the beginning, what the grandmothers tell the author. So this is really cool. This will mean something to you, Stacy. It means something to me. In being in one's place, each one is doing something important. That was something for me to hear too. In being in one's place, each one is doing something important. So you don't have to join a group if you don't want to. You don't have to sell what they're selling if you don't want to, and be successful and be included because they're having so much fun. Let them have fun. Maybe I'm going to be on somehow some of their networks. I don't know. Maybe it's just that I have my own, and maybe I'm there, maybe I'm here, but I'm all going to be here for me too, because I need to speak. I need to get these things out. Here's this other book, and I, some of you will know, and you may know Stacy, this is a cry-on book. And there was a time a long time ago, I don't know why, I got into cry-on a little bit. I was reading his books, and I don't know if there was something that didn't resonate to me at the time, or maybe I had too much schoolwork, and I was in college and figuring out where to live, and I always seemed to be on this adventure of where I was living and trying to get my marks up. And I think there was a strong pulling to be into all of this then, but I just also had this other mindset, right? The mind that was programmed that I've got to just find a regular job. And I never knew how to do this fun stuff, and yet, or things that were fun and passionate to me, and have a job where money came in. And I didn't guess have the wherewithal that you just jump into your fun stuff and go through the hiccups. And you may have a windfall right away and you may not, but if you keep doing all this other stuff, at some point you're going to have to quit anyway, because the other thing is calling you, because it's your heart and your passion and your soul and your vibration, and it's really calling you. And you will, what I know about traveling on a shoestring budget when I was going across the West, and that's another story, but just to say, spirit or God or energies, as long as your heart is feeling in a good place, that you just want the best and you just want to figure things out and you're meaning no harm to people, God or the angels will take care of you. They will take care of you. I remember people giving me $20. I remember that someone gave me a job. I just showed up, and I figured within a week or two, I did have a job. My cell phones one got wrecked with rain, and then one fell in a puddle, and I was waiting for a battery, and I didn't have any money, and I was living in my truck. A lot of things like that. So, yeah. And Stacey, you can always direct message me if you want, or I'll put in my email here if you wish. So the Human Soul Revealed, Cry-On, the Human Soul Revealed. There's also free Cry-On on YouTube. I believe you can find on YouTube that he does do some sessions, and you can get some information there. Maybe I thought it was too heady for me at the time, but I would recommend this. And what's not showing in my hand is there is an intuit who does some galactic work. Her name is Sandra Wallace, I want to say. I believe so, Sandra Wallace. And I know that I haven't signed up. I am gonna sign up. I'm just gonna do it. It's $33, and I think it's 2 channeling, encoding sessions that I think you can listen to as much as possible. One of my friends kept raving about it, and she just did something that she paid into with a gentleman named Paul. I always say his name wrong. Paul Selig. It's Selig. Selig. He's an older guy. He was a teacher in New York. He does these very profound channelings. He's written several books. So I'm going to do that part there for that. And just so you know, and you may have heard Stacy not wanting to repeat. So my father said, if I don't get the vaccine, I have to leave the house. Now, for my age group, that may happen in April. Who knows when it's really going to come down here? I definitely, I'm going to talk to a friend tonight. I'm going to have supper with her one way or the other. I don't know if we're going to a restaurant. And yeah, I'm not a mask person. I very rarely wear a mask, and I don't wear it all the time when I do. I don't wear it in my grocery stores. I don't wear it in the convenience store I go. There was a job that I did have very, very part-time, and I wore a belly dance. I'm going to show you because I have it close. I'm coming back. And so I'm coming back with some other stuff. Hang on a second. I'm almost there. Okay, let's see. Some stuff I'm working on. So this was a belly dance mask, and when I found it online, it's a little bit loose, so it's not gonna. When I found it online, a lot of them, there were all kinds of many different ones, even prettier ones, and it's probably as pretty as it can be. But they came in different colors, and there were some longer ones and some, the whole thing. And thank you for you. A lot of people that when I've had it on my part-time job, they say, "Did I make it?" Now probably could have, but I so did not want to go in Joann's and look for stuff and pay for stuff, and it probably just would have cost just as much because the shipping costs like a lot. Like let's say if this cost $5, the shipping was like $12, like for this one thing, and it took like 6 weeks to get it. But Dr. Christiane Northrup, who lives in Maine, I believe, she was very famous for Our Bodies Ourselves, a book that I think came out in the 60s or 70s for women. It was very highly praised at the time, and lots of people raved about it. No matter what. Whether you were a predisposition for homosexual, heterosexual, or whatever. It was like a big, thick book, and it was a beautiful book. And I did not read it, but it was like a huge success because she's so into the empowerment of women and taking charge of their bodies. But she recommended, well, maybe we all should do belly dancing masks. Or what are we going to do with a mask? And there's so many doctors out there who are like, no mask and germ. Even so, yesterday, very briefly, I listened to, maybe I even said it, listened to Dr. Robert Young with Sasha Stone. That was a few days ago. And Dr. Robert Young is pretty heady. You just have to kind of listen to the science language. And even when Sasha Stone would say, "Can you tell us in like 3 sentences what that actually means?" And nope, it was more like 26 sentences or better. But he's very thorough. Anyway, and I have a nursing friend now. Haven't met her yet. We just like you, Stacey, we just became friends like in this chat group. And she was like, "No, Dr. Robert Young, the reason he didn't have a license, so they took his license away, or was operating under a license because he knows stuff about the human body, and he has all these degrees and all these titles that he's worked for, and he's just not about big pharma and the psychological stuff that's going on, and that basically germs and basically viruses, they can't do anything to us. They can if the environment is right. If the environment is right, then they can possibly get triggered, and then they need to be handled. But it's not like they're going to kill you. And it's not like you could be afraid of them. In fact, a virus is inert and it's dead. It can't replicate itself. And there's trillions everywhere. And so, you're a veterinary nurse, but it's still the same because we're mammals and all mammals have COVID. All mammals have COVID in their body. It's just a science fact. And there's never been conclusive evidence of any scientific journal that said, this is COVID-19 SARS, and we must, this is how we take care of it. Yeah. They never did that. It's all fake. It's all fake. And and also Stacey, my nursing friend at one time, because she's retired, she's older than us, she was the head of a oh God, sorry. She was the head of a the head of the Department of Control and Disease in one of the major hospitals in the Boston area. And whether it was UMass or whether it was whatever, Brigham's Young, whatever it was, she was the head of that department. And she knows what goes on, and she was not good. She knows, so now she knows what's going on. She wouldn't do it. Also, she was recently asked if she wanted to come out of retirement and help people get the vaccine. And what they offered her or to nurses, and maybe some are getting as much, maybe some are, sounds like you get a paycheck. But for everybody you give a vaccine to, you will make $30. So if you see 20 people times 30, that was part of your pay that day. So there's this, like, you might be on a hamster wheel and you think you're doing the right thing, or you're on your hamster wheel and you're doing the right thing, or you're silent and you're helping people be unwell. Dr. Robert Young was also about if you are healthy, you don't need to have a vaccine because it doesn't make sense to put poison in your body, because that's if a virus is bad for you, If it is, then you don't take part of it and put it back in your body. So he's not about that at all. And it was a good interview. I didn't hear all of it. I probably had another half hour to go. It's a kind of a science thing that at some point would have listened to it again, unless they take it down. Yeah, I would. I think I downloaded it. So if I downloaded it somewhere, I have it. I'm going to share with you just a couple of little bits that I'm doing. So what I'm working on is I have a shop that will take some cards and some journals. And now this is not nowhere near done. So even if I have a journal that's blue or a pink or a green or whatever color, this is what I'm starting with right now, so if I can get my hands on easy. What I'm doing, yeah, yes. So I agree with you about transmitting viruses to any other person. First of all, I'm breathing in viruses and you are wherever you are too. I'm eating viruses anytime I put something in my mouth. I'm walking through them. You know this. You have 380 trillion parasites, bacteria, and viruses in your body. It's just science. It's just how we are. This is how we are. And Dr. Andrew Kaufman, who had he's done many days, a researcher. He was, when he was young, he was like a doctor. Oh, he checked medical reports. And anyway, so Dr. Andrew Kaufman was saying very, very early on, you have a mask, but if you put it under a microscope, how big is the weave? You have a big weave. The virus is 1/1,000,000th of an inch big. Any virus is 1/1,000,000th of an inch big to 1 billion of an inch big, 1 trillion of an inch big. I mean, they're small. They're minutest to infinitesimally minute. So you can't get it. You can't. It's control. It's a diversion to help us divide, to help us be stupid, to help be entrained by the mainstream media, to depend on a doctor, to activate our immune system in a bad way that we get more sicker. And I know you work like with the animals and everything. Stage 4, grade 3 cancer started my journey. Blessings to you. Are you doing well though? Are you doing well? You feel that we are so powerful. Yeah, I really, I know this, but I need to get on the cellular alignment that we are so powerful that we can transmute and heal anything. And that's to do with even my own journey with my back, because I was an athlete. Haven't been an athlete for like 4 years. I'm marshmallowy. I'm marshmallowy. So I just an aside, I asked the Actorians, the galactic family of their very good medical teams to work on me too. So I am into that as well. I want to meet my galactic family. So this is a little journal that I'm working on. Let me see if I can get this a little bit better. So it's one of my images. I'm going to embellish it up here. Here's where one of my heart pendants is going to go that you could take off and wear when you're ready. So I did this in here, and I have one of my little earlier things I did. This was Bidu. This was my cat. I can get her out. So, ta-da! And I just put glitter on the back. And so I have these little pockets sometimes I'll put in there so you can play with it. I put in some words like source energy and vision. And then I'm working on this. Oh, that kind of looks good there. Maybe I'll put feathers in here. Okay, so what I wrote in back here, it's not my quote. This one is not my quote, and it's from Rumi. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. It kind of means like if you happen to wake up early, try to stay up because nature's calling you, your intuition is calling you, and try to enjoy that moment. So I'm grateful that you found me too, because it's nice. It's like not that we need validation from others, but it is nice when you meet people who might be a friend or part of your tribe or help you're wanting to help others on the planet and just help others ponder and look at points of view that will touch their heart and hopefully trigger, when they're ready, that DNA, right? Desire, need, and attraction that helps us know we are divinely powerful. So we got that in there. It was the first time I did it. I had stamps. I just tried out these stamps. I'm not really good at it, so it might look messy, but I think it's still a book worth having. I might send this to a friend. because I kind of promised her something. So I might, friend I've never met either, but we've talked a few times, and I might send this to her. And then the back will have a little bit my logo there and the name of the business and some words and how to, just little things. When I do these journals after they're all embellished, what's inside is two stickers, two various stickers in my bio. Maybe I'll throw in a business card, and they wrap and they come out looking, Stacey, if you saw this. So they'll come out, not to repeat, hopefully, let's see if I can get this at a good angle. Maybe not, maybe not. This is just one I did before. So in here, that's the pendant all wrapped up and protected, and it's in the journal. You can actually end up cutting the wire and taking it off. And then, oh, darn it. Okay. As you can see, not as prepared. So this would be my bio that is not inside, and these are two stickers. Let's see if you can see that really good. Sorry if you can't. That's an older one of my first pictures. And then this one. But they'll be just two random. Everything is different. There are just no two alike. I won't do any two alike, and if ever these had to go, I don't know, in any kind of a helpful assembly line, it would be certain people that I would want, because what I want people to feel from this work is healed or healing from this. Since several people, again, have told me that they're special. They're special. There's light codes that bounce off them, and I'm a healing artist. So I am a healing artist. I'm going to work with more and more of my intuition to help people. And if I don't know, then I won't know. I'm not going to guess at things, because that's stupid to do anyway. Like I will admit, like I thought one of my friend's son was on a timeline where he was going to kill himself because he was really involved in some bad players. And his mindset was more pessimistic, and he was trying to sometimes kill himself with drugs. He seems to be doing really, really well now, and I haven't checked in with that. I'm let it go. I'm feeling like if the mother is feeling better, she isn't still involved in his life. He's living with the dad. The dad is more pessimistic. But since we are getting all this light on the planet, anything's possible. So I'm just gonna send him warmth and light right now, and I hope to finish this, go on a walk, get that package to out the door at the post office before they close. Got to get there by 4:30. That's all. Is there anything else I want to tell you today? Oh yes, this is important. So Stacey, if you don't see me go on YouTube, because I don't know if I'll be able to get there on my phone, I'm probably going to do some Facebook stuff. The reason that you might not see me on YouTube if you don't is because something's wrong with this laptop and I can't get it closed. So the person coming to adjust it may also have to do the whatever you call the software stuff. And then it's not cracked, but the plastic is coming apart and I can't close the screen. It would be forcing it. And it just happened a few nights ago where I was going to shut it and it was weird. And I clicked the plastic to close it and it closed and it was fine, but it's just getting worse and it won't let me shut. And it's only been like 3 nights. So before it gets weird, or if I had to get out of the house and not be here anymore, then I need a laptop. Then I need a laptop that works. My hair is funky. So my dad was a hairdresser. I think he is going to help me do my roots because they really show. And I'll be blonde. And at same point, if you don't know, you don't know. Yeah. And it's really interesting kind of trust your intuition, because sometimes it's just such a nudge. It's just a whisper. And we think it's just, well, maybe not. Maybe I'll just do the same old, same old. And it's easy to get in patterns, So let me see. So if you want my, let me just do this for you. If you want, no force. I was going to send you my email, which I didn't put in the comment or the description part below. And so you will have it, Stacey, if you want to reach out and connect more or whatever. No pressure. So I put southwestcoyoteheart@gmail.com. That should go there. And yeah, thank you. I thank you. I hope to bring value through just being authentic, vulnerable, and being in my a power more to lead others to their freedom. And that's what Coyote Heart is about. And that's what I think we're in the world. We're all going to be way showing each other. All going to be way showing each other, right? So, okay, Sister in Light, you have a fabulous day too. This is already at 40 minutes. I'm so surprised. I think it's just going to be like 12, 17 minutes, 9 minutes, and it goes on and on. So thank you, everybody who might listen to this. I really appreciate you. If you feel you'd like to take a look at my website, which, of course, I want to have a better website. I don't think it's that really interactive, but it's RitaElizabeth.com, and you get an idea or a flavor of my work. And also, oh, thank you. And then also, if you take a look at, I have an Etsy shop, which is Coyote Heart Designs. And I admit at first when you see the prices, well, it's so hard. Like, I did not even include my time in them because I feel like my work would be too high. I'm not going to do that. So I just put some prices on it. Certainly people reach out to me. I have actually a flyer with a little bit of lower prices because it's reaching out to me, but the shipping's included in any of the Etsy things. And you can always, I think they give you a place where you can talk to the person at the store. So that's cool. And I was hoping to see my guy to work on the computer and all the platform stuff. But if I have to send out my laptop, I think we're not going to work together till Monday or Tuesday. So you may not see me this way after tomorrow. I'll do one more live before the other guy comes to take the laptop to fix it. But all right. Much love. And my little Coyote Heart just loves you. Stay bright.